Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here I am once again. It's your friendly neighborhood R.o.Z with R.o.Z on the scene. Today I'm over here in Shorewood, Illinois at Shorewood Fitness. You might not know it, but I got a good friend here that runs the show, and his name's Koa, the Hawaiian Hitman. Let's hear it for him.
What's
Koa,
up, everybody?
How are you, man? How are you? Yes, sir.
Looking leaner since the last time I seen him.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Like I said to you, you're looking thick, man. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, I had a birthday and I ate a lot of food, so a lot of cake.
Oh, I didn't mean thick like that. I meant like thick like here. You're good, though.
I'm not
You're
going to take
looking
my
good.
shirt off. I don't look that good.
But no, just an introduction here. This is on the scene. We're out and about, and we wanted to talk to you. Mm-hmm. One of my reasons for wanting to talk to you is because, you know, you were a very inspirational person for me to want to come back into this industry. I don't know if you've even realized that yourself.
Is it because I'm old?
No. You were actually the one that said that, you know, never give up on wanting to be back in the ring. And back in July, you know, I feel like it was yourself that gave me the shot to come in and be part of MCW at the time. And, you know, I just want to say thank you for that. But that's another reason why I thought of you as being one of these guys that I could have on and do a little bit of spiel with.
That's cool. That's very cool. Yeah, I get messages a lot of times from guys that have been in the business that started like I did in the 90s. I started in 1997 at 17 years old. And so took a long hiatus, over 20 years off. And then I came back 2 years ago. So I've been running straight for 2 years right now. So I personally think I'm still green. I think I am. But I've gotten a lot of opportunities that a lot of veterans haven't even gotten. And I think it's just from the connections I've made and just be a nice person and just be likable.
And that is, like I said, the biggest thing that I appreciate myself, of not only being inspirational, but being a likable person. And that's what we need in this industry with wrestling, with fitness, with everything, is just honesty, integrity, and just being truthful with people. And you don't come by that a lot.
Yeah, when I analyze and I think about the people that I met in the 90s and how the business was back then, because it was all kayfabe back then. You know, I literally got in fights at college because people were mocking my wrestling and my love for it and my ability to perform in front of large crowds. We had very large crowds that I performed in the World Wrestling Association. We would fill the Mantino Diversitech. We went to Bluffs, Illinois, had 4,000 people inside that. You know, it's crowds that you never see at indie shows now unless they're the mega shows. But we were doing that with no-name talents, and it's because we had put so much into our craft. We worked so hard. The way that we would promote for shows back then is way different than now. Now I'm all about social media. I'm all about handshakes in person and talking to people, creating that connection with them. I always tell when we have a really good show that I'm really passionate about, I let the fans know that, hey, listen, this is something I really want you to be a part of.
Yeah.
This is going to be something very special to me. It's going to be a memorable night. If you're not doing anything, I'd love for you to come out. Before, it was flyer everywhere. You know, it was banners everywhere. And I remember going to all the different malls and flyering the parking lots at 17, 18 years old. You never got paid for it, but you got paid because when you break through that curtain and you walk in front of a massive crowd, that's all the payment you need, you know? So for me, all the work that you put in, and it's no matter what it is, it could be in your shoot job, and it could be in your wrestling job. If you continue to put maximum effort into your work that you do, you're going to get a maximum reward. So that's what, in my opinion, pro wrestling should be all about.
Yeah, no, for sure, 100%. And, you know, as we're already talking about pro wrestling, you know, let's get to the nitty gritty here. You know, you said you started when you were 17 years old. What was your inspiration? What was your inspiration for wanting to start?
Okay, so I grew up in Hawaii, and Polynesian pro wrestling was my first taste of pro wrestling. Like 5, 6 years old, my mom would take me to the flea markets and the different arenas, even Honolulu Stadium, and we would see. It wasn't in the stadium; it was in the parking lot. But we would watch Polynesian pro wrestling. But for the wrestling historians out there, that's The Rock, Dwayne Johnson's grandma's company. So as a little kid, I'm out there watching them perform, watching Rocky Johnson perform, watching these characters that were large in life, and I just have always gravitated to it. I knew from a very young age, I knew what was going on, like from 6, 7 years old. And the reason being is because I grew up in boxing. Like my whole family is boxers. I know what a real punch looks like. I know what happens when you get hit square in the face and your nose is on the side of your face. I understand that stuff. So, but I gravitate towards wrestling because for me, I love live theater. I love the Broadway experience. I literally was talking to a member today, And I said, hey, he's like, oh, it's kind of like a Broadway experience. So I said, absolutely, it's like that, except for guess what? They'll do the same show 50 times.
Yeah.
We get one take. That's it. And then next week we got a new show. And then next week we got a new show. So it's in my opinion, it's way more difficult. I'll probably get some heat from that from the Broadway folks, but I feel it's way more difficult, and that's why pro wrestling, like Broadway, is cool. It's really cool. I love watching those stories unfold, and I'm a big proponent of pushing high school students into theater. I think they should all be a part of it. If they want to become a pro wrestler, you should get into theater, learn how to speak in front of a large audience, learn how to memorize your lines.
Oh, yeah.
Learn how to be a character, not instead of yourself, become a new character, and a Broadway experience will never fill a 70,000 stadium for 2 days in a row. And that's what pro wrestling is leading to. Wembley is getting filled up. We're going to have a 2-day SummerSlam now.
Oh yeah,
2-day WrestleMania.
That's the first time. Yeah,
it's only a matter of time when these rosters expand, and TKO is really pushing the New York product to the next level. It's a global product now, especially with the deal with Netflix. I really see that you're going to have about 4 major PLEs a year will go 2 days, and they're going to be all over the world. And why not get that European audience in there?
Oh yeah.
Just spread our talents throughout the entire world, which is going to be crazy, because can you imagine what we're setting up for the future? Yeah. 20 years from now, what's it going to look like? It's going to be absolutely incredible.
International. Yeah. But no, you talking about Broadway and everything, and I know to add to all that, Broadway, they say go out there and break a leg, and yeah, they do probably get hurt every once in a while, but there's a lot more at risk being out there in a pro wrestling ring. I know I've had my fair share of injuries. What about yourself? Have you ever had any injuries because of pro wrestling?
I came back 2 years ago. I did a warm-up match with my buddy VIP, and then I got to work with Calvin, the Cobra, Calvin Perkins. He's phenomenal. We were having a great match, and I hit this move, and I slipped. I drug out the stairs, slammed him on top of the stairs to where his head's laying over the stairs, climbed up the stairs, and dropped a leg drop on him. But when I went to land, there was a pop spilled on the ground and it's my fault. Okay. I pulled the stairs out and I hit the pop. I didn't notice it, and when I landed, I popped my knee out of place and tore my ACL. So that's like my third match back. No, my second match back. I already tore my ACL. And then I took a moonsault where my opponent's elbow hit my femur and it cracked my femur. I never went public with that, but I did take that month off. I didn't want to.
Only a month, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's endurance and toughness right there, folks.
Yeah. Stem cells, Dr. Jason Pensick works.
But so moving forward, you're talking about all these different promotions that you've been in. What promotions have you been in? What promotions are you still in? And where do you see yourself going into the future?
So I broke into the business with World Wrestling Association. Got to work with Midwest Renegade Wrestling. I did a couple of shows with Lunatic Wrestling Federation. Then took a hiatus, came back briefly and worked with Windy City Pro Wrestling before their end. And then came back, worked with Southland Championship Wrestling, spent a year with that company, worked with Power Entertainment, did a couple shows with Chicago Style Wrestling, Defiant Pro Wrestling. That's kind of, Defiant Pro is like, it's near and dear to me. Candace and Dan run a wonderful program there. We get to come in there and have creative freedom and do what we believe is the best for the fans' experience, which is really, really cool. For some matches you can be like, man, that's a little far-fetched what you guys are doing there. But hey, everybody's having fun. They're having a good time. They're entertaining the crowd. Defiant Pro Wrestling is awesome. When I got to go to Wisconsin and work with Ben Manthe from Frontline Pro, and I had a great time with him. I want to do more shows with him. He's a great guy. So I got to run with those companies for about 6 months, and then Robert Ego Anthony messaged me online because he actually lives right down the street, Joliet.
Yeah.
So, and we became friends, started training together, and he literally opened the door to the big companies for me. Nice. So he got me in with AAW Pro.
Yep, and you're still a staple there too, right?
Yeah. And there's no company that I enjoy working for more than that. He got me in with NWA.
There you go.
Which is awesome. And now he's running his own company, which is Ego Pro, and I'll be working on the Ego Pro show October 5th, this Saturday at the Forge.
And it's funny you bring that up. I did have an episode where I was talking to Apex, and he had also brought up that same show with Ego Pro. And I don't personally know a lot about them, but when I looked them up, I hold them near and dear because I appreciate what they do for the handicapped, the children with disabilities and everything else like that. that really hits me in the hearts and the feels. And anything I can do to spread the word about Ego Pro, I would love to do that just on my own accord.
Yeah, we're doing that right now. It's a great. He works with Navarro Farm. I got to do some shows with him last summer where we go in the day before and get to know the kids. We have to work with them, teach them calisthenics, stretching, talk about eating habits. Then we bring them in the ring and we work with them. And then the standouts during it, we have them become a part of the show, which is really
I did
cool.
see that. They have their own championship belt, I believe, don't
Oh,
they?
it's beautiful. But you can put that championship belt up against any company out here's championship belt, and that's going to win. Like Robert spends a lot of money on his belts. Even the White Castle championship that he has for the Thunderbolt Stadium, it's insane.
That is awesome.
Oh, and now he's got the Hive belt for Ego Pro. Oh man, I can't wait to see this thing in person because I've seen pictures of it. He sent me when he got it done. He sent me pictures of it. I'm like, dude, this thing's ridiculous. It's amazing. And the reason I say this is because he's a belt connoisseur. Like me, I'll see something I think is pretty, yay. But he's like, no, take a look. He's had some of my belts before. He's taking a look. He's like, here's the issue with this one. Here's the issue with this one. This is what's going to happen. This is why you shouldn't get a belt like this. I'm like, whoa! Talk about an education, literally an education lesson every time I get with him and talk wrestling. So.
Well, no, that's amazing. That's amazing. Like I said, really awesome that they do those things for the children, and not to mention the children with disabilities. Moving forward, though, we are here in Shorewood, Illinois, at Shorewood Fitness. Beautiful gym, I must say.
Thank you.
What can you tell me about this, Koa?
So we are a 24-hour fitness-based exercise facility that caters to the people of this town that are serious about fitness. I'm looking right now at 3 dumbbell racks going up to 175 pounds. We got over 200 pieces of equipment. If you take a look at our trainers wall there, we've got some of the best pro bodybuilders in the country right now that work out here. So this club right here caters to the people that are very serious about exercising. Now, that doesn't mean if you haven't had experience in working out, you're not going to get anything from here. That's where I come in, and the trainers come in. You come in here, you had very little experience. Let us help you. Help us help you, and then achieve more in fitness. So I always tell people, spend the first 30 days with a trainer, and you're going to learn, and you're going to love it because we're going to hold you accountable, and we're going to push you to go past what you can normally do, and even pull the reins back. If we see you doing too much, we're going to pull the reins back, because the one thing that we've learned over time is it's consistency that builds a great physique. It's not, hey, listen, I'm going to crush this workout, and then I don't see you for a week because it's too sore.
Yeah, I've been there. No, and actually to add to that, Koa here also puts out his own stuff out on social media when it comes to different workouts that he plans for himself, for his clients, and everything else. And not to be tooting your horn again for you, but actually, you say I'm leaner now. I actually watched a couple of his videos that he has posted and taken that into my own training and used that in my own life to get where I'm at now. And I do appreciate that as well, just those clips that you put out there and everything.
No, I really appreciate that, because as a content creator, all you want to do is you just want your content to be seen, recognized, acknowledged, and hopefully it helps someone. And if if I'm not, I know I shouldn't be like this, but if I'm looking at it and it doesn't have the views, I'm like, what did I do wrong? So I start looking at the algorithm, and that's where my buddy Brian Dodge comes in. He taught us about, hey, listen, there's certain times you should post. Lunchtime being a big one, because most people pull their phones out before they go to bed.
Makes sense, yeah.
In between the hours of 8 and 11 o'clock is another good time at night. It's a good time to post. 5 in the morning is a good time to post. So what happens is once you first post that video will reach an audience that is available at that time. So if for example, I did a 1 o'clock post, there's not many people available. By 8 o'clock tonight, my post is already evaporated from the feed. They're going to have to go and search and find it. Yeah. So it's all about timing with it, and then consistency. So I put a lot of baiters out there, and I notice Ego does the same thing with Ego Pro. He'll put a lot of things like big announcement at noon today. Why is it at noon today? Because that's where the algorithms hit.
That's
so check out the big announcements.
But no, that's amazing, and I take those, and I'll take that to heart as well, as this is something that I'm trying to start up too. So I appreciate the input and stuff like that. But it is just working with someone that has been doing it for a while to be able to give you those instructions and to help you out is always a good thing. Moving forward, though, I know a little bit about you that you probably don't know that I know. Nothing bad, of course.
Well, there's a lot of bad out there.
I hear that not only with being here at the gym, being a pro wrestler, you're actually a champion arm wrestler as well.
Yes.
Huh?
I do arm wrestling. I do compete in arm wrestling. I love it. I've had a lot of fun with it. In 2010, I won the Great Lakes National Championships, and I beat out 30 other competitors in the middleweight division to take the national title. Recently, I competed at the Indiana State and got second at the Indiana State, which was a lot of fun. It was my first time competing at a bigger show in a long time. And then you can see all the pictures on the wall here. I've broken middleweight powerlifting records since I was 15 years old.
Wow.
Competed a lot in powerlifting, and then also I turned pro as a bodybuilder in 2007 as a natural bodybuilder. And as far as NPC is concerned, I competed at the Mr. Universe contest and got fourth out of 48, which to me was huge. I never pursued it further than that because it was during COVID. There's nothing to do, so let's train for a bodybuilding show, you know. And then once the restrictions were lifted, I did the first show that was available because I literally trained with my coach Drew Cullen, who is one of the greatest bodybuilders out right now. He's top 10 in the world in the men's physique division, and we just trained together and we had a good time with it. And he's like, man, you should see what you got and put to work on stage. I ended up doing the Badger State and I won 4 divisions, so I qualified for nationals 4 times. Then it was like 4 weeks later, I competed at the Universe and did really good. And for me, looking at the pictures, I think I was judged fairly. I just wasn't as big as those guys are. Those guys are huge.
Yeah.
You know, I was shredded. Like in my opinion, I was the leanest on stage, and the opinion of my coach and opinion of other fans that were there. I just didn't have the size to compete against those guys. So I would need to take about 2 years off, put the size on. But that's not me. I don't want to be that big. I don't want to be 240 pounds. That's not what I want to look like. I'm like right now I'm sitting at 204 pounds. I think I'm too big right now. I think I look the best when I'm about 180 pounds.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so you've just been a champion in all different facets of your life with lifting, arm wrestling, and also I hear you got a really nice looking car too that you win some championships with.
So I have a couple right now that I have my 91 Dodge Stealth RT twin turbo that I've had since I was a teenager, and that car is it's almost perfect. It's almost perfect, and there's not too many of them out there. I'm looking at people that are reselling them, and they're in the hundreds of thousands of miles. My car literally has 18,000 miles on the actual frame, and it's got 400 miles on the new engine. So I'm seeing numbers of 50, 60,000 people are asking for this thing, and I have no inkling of selling that car. Then my other one is my C7 Corvette. It's a Z51 that I turbocharged, and I've won 4 national championships with it. And I just got a new set of wheels that are absolutely insane. So the next show I do with it, it's gonna be hot. I'll probably hire like a professional cameraman to do a photo shoot with it before I put it away for the winter.
That'd be awesome. No, and it's awesome to feel the energy that's coming off of you just talking about these things, being a champion in different aspects of your life and everything else like that.
So in the back of my head is stay humble. You know, I'm a cross bearer. I'm a God-fearing Christian. It's easy for me to be like, yeah, I'm a champion in everything. I dominated everything. But that's not like how I feel inside. I feel there's so much that I don't accomplish. I feel like I can do more. I feel like at my age, I'm 45 right now, I feel like I should be doing more. I own 2 gyms right now. I got a successful online personal training program, and then I'm pro wrestling as much as possible. But I feel like I still can do more. There's never enough time in the day, and then there's never enough energy either. So I was telling people, they're like, by the end of the day, like 8:30 at night, I am done. I'm asleep, and then I'm up again at 5 a.m.
But no, you can sit there and you can be humble all you want to, but I'll toot your horn for you, man. Like I said, to see all these things that you're doing, to hear now even newer things that I didn't even know about you, you're an amazing person, and I appreciate people like you, not only in this industry with fitness, in the wrestling world and everything else like that. We need more people like you. But I mean, other than that, do you have anything else that you would like to just add to this or say to the people, to your fans, anything at all?
Yeah, the next major goal for me to have is I want to win. I want it really bad. I want to win an AAW Pro title. That's the company that I respect the most. And if I can realize that dream, I will take that if I can realize that dream and hold that championship, I will take that as a go for it and push this company as far as he can. I will literally be hitting up every TV station. I kind of do that now. I brought in one of the sports writers from WGN to the last show. I'm like, dude, you just got to check this out. Like, come. We went to a couple, we went to SmackDown together, and we got to know each other. And then I'm like, you got to check out the show. He's been to MCW as well. and he's a good guy, Alonzo Smith. And I just want to tell everybody who doesn't know about AAW Pro that this is the company. You've got to see these stories. You got to see what we do. We have the best wrestlers in the entire region working for us. I don't think we're missing anything at the show. So yeah, I'd like to get a bigger venue and see if we can fill it with 1,000 people. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be awesome. That
It's
would be
always so packed there. I'm telling you. Like after my match, I sit at the merch table because I have like Recrafted Roofing is a sponsor of the show. Danny's Exquisite Concrete. So I try to spend some time after my match. I go to the merchandise tables and the sponsorship tables, and I spend some time with them, making sure they're having a good time, explaining some of the background storylines because they're lost. They're new to this, and just make sure that our sponsors are having a good time so they keep coming back. And our ability to fuel a bigger show is through our sponsors, I believe.
Well, you say it's your mainstay, and that's the place you hold the most dear. Why don't you tell our fans where they can find it?
AAW Pro, we're going to be at October 18th, Friday. That's going to be in Berwyn at the Berwyn Eagles Center. Doors open at 6 p.m. Be there. Get your tickets now because we always sell out. So I don't even know if there's much tickets left. Don't scalp tickets. Those are fake.
But no, that's awesome. Everything you do is awesome. Once again, I want to say thank you for allowing me to be here with you in your gym, in your time and everything. You know, I know you're a busy man. I just want to say, follow this man, support him, support what he believes in. He's a good guy, and I'm here doing the same thing. So this is R.o.Z on the scene with Koa. Thank you again, sir. It's been a pleasure.
Aloha, guys.